Welcome to lesson 167. There is one life, and that I share with God. Welcome to the Qigong Support for A Course in Miracles students. I'm Judith, and you're at the Lucid Mind Center. And I'm very, very glad that you're here on this large endeavor of recording a Course in Miracles lesson every day, and also recording Qigong classes, especially for A Course in Miracles students. The Course in Miracles students can have a great benefit of doing Qigong, because it's going to bring you back into this instant. It's going to make you understand what this body is for and how you can use it in your favor. Because some of us, we fall prey to dismissing the body, dismissing this tool. This is because it's something in which we have been brought up through Christianity. From the very beginning, when we heard the first thing about any kind of religion. So before we start, what we're going to do is we're going to connect to our central channel. This is the channel which is connecting heaven and earth in Qigong, which is connecting yin and yang. Yin is the female, yang is the male. And I have prepared 2 videos for you which are explaining to you how Qigong can help you as a Course in Miracles students, which I suggest you do. So first we are going to do a quick connection, then we're going to read and contemplate the lesson together, and at the end I'm going to guide you to a Qigong class which is suited for this particular lesson. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to my channel, let me know where you're watching from and how long you've been with A Course in Miracles, and also share this with somebody who might need this. Put your feet shoulder width apart. So imagine that you're growing roots into the earth. Imagine that there is a channel of light basically coming in through the crown of your head. You can inhale and exhale into the crown of your head while you are knocking on it. That's it. Very good. And then knock on the front here. This is the entrance to the upper dantian, which is the center, which is like a field where you can cultivate, which you can prepare to receive the inspiration, the divine inspiration, if you will, or the wisdom, or the basically the intelligence. So you can just open up here. The same, just breathe 3 times into this area. Then you have got the heart opener here. This is the area where you are connecting to humanity, where you are cultivating compassion and unconditional love. Not that you don't want to be abused by people, you just want to be able to see the light within yourself and the light within them. And the light within them you are seeing with your heart. You're seeing it with this particular area. And that kind of seeing is totally abstract. It's got nothing to do with this kind of seeing which you are using with your eyes. One more. And then we are going down to the lower dantian. So where your belly button is, 4 fingers below your belly button, there is a little dent here. This is the chi high point. This is the point which is the opening to the field which is in the lower part of your belly. So this particular field is called lower dantian, and this is where you are cultivating your vitality and your confidence and trust. And also this is also where we need to undo the fear. The fear is usually expanding itself in that particular field. Expanding in the field, in the belly, and then when we like, for example, nervous or scared, we can feel this fear in the belly. So 4 fingers below the belly button, and then start knocking into it 3 times. And the fields are in the middle of the body. These are just the entrance points. They are more or less in the same position as the chakras are. The Indians and the Chinese, they have been several times crossovers, and they're basically teaching the same thing, just from different approaches. So yoga is also a very good exercise if you have got the right teacher who is teaching you as well how to use your body to understand the ideas of A Course in Miracles. Because this is the point here. In our exercise here, the point is how to use Qigong in your favor. Qigong is just like a tool. It's also, it is part of the Taoism and Buddhist traditions of the Chinese cosmology. You've got, for example, the Shaolin Temple, who are using Qigong and inner alchemy to strengthen their Wei Qi, their protective Qi, activating their spiritual connection. They're very spiritual. So we're going to use their things that they have learned over millennia to use it for our Course in Miracles. Very good. So now you put your feet shoulder width apart, you are aware of those 3 points in your body. And I just want you to localize them in the center of your body. So you can put like a finger on the back and in the front. I just want you to localize that dantian. This is the sexual center as well. For the women, it's very easy to feel here. This is where the uterus is. And this is basically the center of the field. So that can be like that big, or it can be that big. So what you want to make sure is that those 3 centers, they are the same size. So if that one is that big, then that one doesn't need to be bigger than that either. So when we're doing Qigong, we learn to make them bigger. I have started recording the Qigong courses. So if you then want to make it more profound, you can let me know, and I will send you a link to where you can sign up for the Qigong courses, because they are gonna help you understand yourself better. So you connect there, and then you connect here with the heart. Very good. And the head as well. Just want to become aware that this is in the center of your body. And then through this center of the body, there is the other one coming through. It comes from the top all the way through, coming out of the perineum and anchoring itself in the earth. Very good. And now we are going to connect to this. Inhale up and exhale down. One more. Inhale, connect, and exhale. And last one. In. I just want you to imagine that you are connecting those 3 fields like with a line all the way down into the earth. Connect and bring it down. You're relaxing the whole body. You're opening up. You're relaxing all your pelvis. You're relaxing all your muscles. You almost feel like you're letting go, like you are giving birth. You're like opening up everything down there, and you're just kind of connecting to Mother Earth. And that's it. And again, inhale. Now you can activate that line. You can activate. And now let go. Very good. And one last one. Inhale. And exhale. Notice that you are much more connected, that you have got like a connection to heaven and earth, and you also probably becoming aware that your body is actually a conductor of energy. If your body wasn't a conductor of energy, it wouldn't even be able to be alive, because there's a lot of electrical connections happening, or communications happening in your brain and between the cells, through the nerves, and also chemical communication. So this body is actually like a whole universe of cells which are communicating with each other. And your brain is kind of controlling this particular body. And if you become aware of yourself, and you realize that you are not this body, then you can control this body better, because you can heal it with your mind. You can kind of improve it. Even if you, for example, ill, you don't necessarily can get rid of the illness as such, but maybe you can create different kind of circumstances, so you're not necessarily suffering as much from that particular illness. So I have been inspired to show this to you today. So let's see what our Course in Miracles lesson message is giving us. I am trusting that God, our higher self, Jesus, or the Christ, or the angels, or whatever you would like to say, the higher universal power, that it shows us, both you and me, how we can hear it better, how we can hear its voice better. I'm going to start off standing and then later see if I maybe need to sit down. I actually really like to do the reading standing up, so let's have a look. Lesson 167. There is one life, and that I share with God. There are no different kinds of life, for life is like the truth. It does not have degrees. It is the one condition which all that God created share. Like all his thoughts, it has no opposite. There is no death because what God created shares his life. There is no death because an opposite to God does not actually exist. There is no death because the Father and the Son are one. So how is that supposed to be understood? Well, what is supposed to be understood is that that energy which is providing life, it is consistent, it's eternal. It's like in our perspective as humans, it's like the sun. The sun is always there. It's just that our earth is turning around and sometimes it appears to us as if it is darkness. But the sun is always shining. It is a symbol of that. It's not that sun is God. The sun is just a symbol of that forever shining light within this small human lifespan which we are having. So this light which is God is always there. That very energy which making you breathe right now, that is God. That is Qi. That is that vital force energy within you. And you don't have to be conscious of it to make you alive. If you're not conscious of it, you're still going to be alive. You need that. But if you become aware of it, if you become aware of that force within you, and Qigong is so great about this because that is what they have been doing for 5,000 years. They have been observing that force which is within us. Okay? So, in this world, there appears to be a state that is life's opposite. You call it death. Yet we have learned that the idea of death takes many forms. It is the one idea which underlies all feelings that are not supremely happy. It is the alarm to which you give response of any kind that is not perfect joy. All sorrow, loss, anxiety and suffering and pain, even a little sigh of weariness, a slight discomfort or the merest frown acknowledge death. The merest frown, huh? That means I'm acknowledging death all the time. And thus deny you live. You think that death is of the body, yet it is but an idea, irrelevant to what is seen as physical. A thought is in the mind. It can be then applied as mind directs it. But its origin is where it must be changed if change occurs. And that is super important. So what we need to change is the origin of our thoughts. We are retraining our mind. And we need to observe our thoughts, our belief, our entire belief system. That's why we are doing this through 365 days. And that's why we're repeating it over and over again, is because we need to unlearn all those ideas we have collected over our lifespan. You think that death is of the body, yet it is but an idea, irrelevant to what is seen as physical. A thought is in the mind. It can be then applied as mind directs it, but its origin is where it must be changed if change occurs. Ideas leave not their source. The emphasis this course has placed on that idea is due to its centrality in our attempts to change your mind about yourself, because you got to change your mind. As long as you don't change your mind, you can read this course 17 times. It's not going to work. You got to change your mind about it. You got to change the way you believe, you think about it. The last few days I've been telling you that you got to place Christ within yourself, because what we're doing, all of us, we are kind of hoping for some external power, some external authority to strike us with some lightning. That's not how it works. What you need to do is you need to take a decision. You need to take a decision that the light is within you. That energy is within you, and the energy is within you. Otherwise, this body wouldn't even be able to work. It wouldn't be able to live. It does not help if you think that this body is an illusion without understanding what is meant by this body is an illusion. The body is an illusion is meant to say that the meaning you give the body, or the meaning you give to the world you see, is an illusion. The reality is that you can change what you are seeing by changing your mind, by changing what the source idea, and this source idea is within you. Okay? So we have divided ourselves. We have divided our mind from our body. We have put confidence, as I often say, we put the confidence into the earth. We've put the inner peace into our kidneys, as the Chinese cosmology is saying. We have separated all those beautiful states of mind into different parts of the body. That's why different parts of the body are hurting according to what we are experiencing outside. So jealousy hurts somewhere else than, for example, sadness. Or worry is in a different part of the body than fear. And I want you to observe that. Observe it within yourself when something happens. Anger, where is it in the body? It is in the body, because it's not somewhere abstract out there. No, you actually feel it in the body. And like I have said two or three lessons ago, when it's a negative emotion, it is like pinpointed within the body. It hurts within. But when you are feeling compassion, it feels like it expands. Like when you're feeling love, it feels like you're expanding the love toward the other one. So observe yourself, observe your body, and become aware that your body and your mind and yourself are not all the same. They are actually three different entities. You have a body, and your body is within your mind, and you are the observer who can direct your mind, who can direct those thoughts. You are the most powerful instant when you connect to this authority, but you are making the choice to connect. Okay? So you think that death is of the body, yet it is but an idea, irrelevant to what is seen as physical. A thought is in the mind. This is where we just created our connection to the mind. It's in the center there. This is where the brain is. A thought is in the mind. It can be then applied as mind directs it. And again, the center of your mind is just the center. It doesn't mean that your mind is within your brain. It is just the center. It's where the focal point is. Your body is within your mind, and your mind is enormous. In fact, everything you see around yourself is within your mind. This is all part of this perception which you are projecting outward. And you're choosing what you're seeing. You're choosing what you're focusing on. You can focus on the good or the bad. And when you are in misery, like I have been now in the last 2-3 days, yesterday I had an absolutely mad day. I was focusing on misery. I was feeling ill. I was feeling miserable. I cried. I argued. I did all those crazy things. And I'm thinking to myself, what on earth is wrong with you? Why is it that you always do this? And I don't know. I think for me, this is like some kind of a purging process where I really need to become 100% aware what is going on so I can transmit this idea better to other people. It's like a preparation. And I have to forgive myself, and I have to forgive whoever I believe has triggered it, because usually it is me who is triggering all this madness. So a thought is in the mind. It can be then applied as mind directs it. So mind decides where this thought is going to. But its origin is where it must be changed if change occurs. It must be changed in its origin. Ideas leave not their source. It means you have got the center, like I just said, center of the mind. You have an idea, and then it expands. It doesn't leave your mind. It doesn't leave that mind. And your center of the mind is only here right now while you're having this human experience. Once that human experience is finished, the body and the mind separates, and all the ideas you've ever had, they go with you. And then you bring it back into this source where all the ideas become the good, the interesting ideas, the ones which were expressions of love. You take them with you into this ocean of mind, back to source. But its origin is where it must be changed if change occurs. Ideas leave not their source. The emphasis this course has placed on that idea is due to its centrality in our attempts to change your mind about yourself. It is the reason you can heal. It is the reason you can heal. It is the cause of healing. The cause of healing is that you can change your mind, that we can change our mind. This is the cause of our healing. It is why you cannot die. Its truth established you as one with God. Death is the thought that you are separate from your Creator. It is the belief conditions change, emotions alternate, because of causes you cannot control. You did not make, and you can never change. Let's read this again. It is the belief conditions change, emotions alternate because of causes you cannot control. You did not make, and you can never change. So basically you believing that there is all kinds of causes out there which are controlling your life's outcome. Because you feel that the power is outside of you. And you gotta bring this power back into you. You gotta bring, and it's not only on divine terms, it is also on normal relationship terms. You gotta bring that power back and realize that you are the cause of the way you are feeling. You are the cause of an argument because you are becoming part of it. You're also the cause of a love relationship. If you have got a really nice, loving relationship with somebody, you are also the cause of that, because you can only experience your feelings yourself. You cannot experience the other person's feeling. This is the rule of this earth here, while you are here. Once you're outside of this body, then it's a different game. It's a different rules. But while we are here, the only things which you can experience are the ones which you experience through this body. That's the reality. You cannot experience my feelings. You cannot see what I see. Nor can you hear what I hear. Nor can you have my thoughts. Because at the moment we appear to be separate. So the only thing which you have got 100% control over, and that is more than enough, is your own thoughts. It's your own experience of this human life. So, death is the thought that you are separate from your Creator. It is the belief conditions change, emotions alternate because of causes you cannot control. You did not make, and you can never change. It is the fixed belief ideas can leave their source and take on qualities the source does not contain. Becoming different from their own origin, apart from it in kind as well as distance, time and form. Death cannot come from life. Ideas remain united to their source. They can extend all that their source contains, in that they can go far beyond themselves. But they cannot give birth to what was never given them. As they are made, so will their making be. As they were born, so will they then give birth. And where they come from, there will they return. Ideas remain connected to their source. So wherever your idea is, whatever you think, it goes out and it comes back. It's like a boomerang. I don't know if you've noticed that, but whenever you have got a kind of a thought, then suddenly things come back to you somehow. The mind can think it sleeps, but that is all. It cannot change what its waking state, its lucid state. It cannot make a body nor abide within a body. What is alien to the mind does not exist because it has no source. For mind creates all things that are and cannot give them attributes it lacks, nor change its own eternal mindful state. Its eternal mindful state. This is the thing. So this, please become aware of this next time you're doing this meditation. This experience of self, this experience of observation, introspection, this state of mind will not change. This is what we are keeping and going on with. For mind creates all things that are and cannot give them attributes it lacks, nor change its own eternal mindful state. You cannot change it. It cannot make the physical. What seems to die is but the sign of mind asleep. The opposite of life can only be another form of life. As such, it can be reconciled with what created it, because it is not opposite in truth. Its form may change, it may appear to be what it is not, yet mind is mind, awake or sleeping. It is not its opposite in anything created, nor in what it seems to make when it believes it sleeps. And that's what we are doing. We are believing, we are sleeping. God creates only mind awake, lucid mind. That's why my whole website and everything is called lucid mind, because a lucid mind is a mind, like for example, when somebody has got Alzheimer's or has got dementia, then they have got a lucid moment. They are momentarily awake and aware. And also lucid dreaming. When you're having a lucid dream, you're sleeping and you're dreaming, and then within the dream you become aware that you are dreaming. So that is called lucid dreaming. And that is why I called my whole website and everything Lucid Mind Center, because it was already 14 years ago, important for me to transmit, or maybe to establish to myself, probably more than anything else, that this is my purpose. My purpose is to become aware of that lucidity and also share it whichever way I can. And yeah, that's how Qigong came to me. The opposite of life can only be another form of life. As such, it can be reconciled with what created it, because it is not opposite in truth. Its form may change. It may appear to be what it is not. Yet mind is mind, awake or sleeping. It is not its opposite in anything created, nor in what it seems to make when it believes it sleeps. God creates only mind awake. He does not sleep, and his creations cannot share what he gives not, nor make condition which he does not share with them. The thought of death is not the opposite to thoughts of life. Forever unopposed by opposites of any kind, the thoughts of God remain forever changeless, with the power to extend forever changelessly, but yet within themselves, for they are everywhere. The thoughts of God are everywhere. Everywhere. Like Qi. Exactly. Wherever you look, that is God. There is a thought of God in that tree. I don't know if you can see it out there. Whatever you can see on this side. These are thoughts of God. There's a thought of God in this beautiful orchidea. This is a thought of God. It's a thought of God in this life form, because there's billions of cells here making this body. That is life form. God creates only mind awake. He does not sleep, and his creations cannot share what he gives not, nor make conditions which he does not share with them. The thought of death is not the opposite to thoughts of life. Forever unopposed by opposites of any kind, the thoughts of God remain forever changeless, with the power to extend forever changelessly, but yet within themselves, for they are everywhere. What seems to be the opposite of life is merely sleeping. When the mind elects to be what it is not, and to assume an alien power which it does not have, a foreign state it cannot enter, or a false condition not within its source, it merely seems to go to sleep a while. It dreams of time, an interval in which what seems to happen never has occurred. The changes wrought are substanceless, and all events are nowhere. When the mind awakes, it but continues as it always was. That means we just return to what we actually truly are. When we become lucid, we just return to what we are. And it seems to me that when we are in this human experience, we are going in and out, or I'm going in and out of those states. And the reason I'm going in and out of those states is because I'm finding 100 different ways of coming out of that state. So somehow I have to go through it. Somehow I have made an agreement with my higher self that that's it. Okay, I'm going to learn this. So I'm going into it. So what seems to be the opposite of life is merely sleeping. When the mind elects to be what it is not, and to assume an alien power which it does not have, a foreign state it cannot enter, or a false condition not within its source, it merely seems to go to sleep a while. It dreams of time. That's what we're doing right now. We are dreaming of time. And we can have this a happy dream or a miserable dream. And I had a miserable dream yesterday, and it was of my own making. And it is bizarre why I always do this. It dreams of time, an interval in which what seems to happen never has occurred. The changes wrought are substanceless, and all events are nowhere. When the mind awakes, it but continues as it always was. Let us today be children of the truth and not deny our holy heritage. Our life is not as we imagine it. Who changes life because he shuts his eyes, or makes himself what he is not because he sleeps and sees in dreams an opposite to what he is? We will not ask for death in any form today, nor will we let imagined opposites to life abide even an instant where the thought of life eternal has been set by God himself. His holy home we strive to keep today as he established it and wills it to be forever and forever. He is Lord of what we think today, and in his thoughts, which have no opposites, we understand there is one life, and that we share with him. So our lesson is, there is one life, and that life I share with God. There is only one. We understand there is one life, and that we share with him, with all creation, with their thoughts as well, whom he created in a unity of life that cannot separate in death and leave the source of life from where it came. We share life because we have one source, a source from which perfection comes to us, remaining always in the holy minds which he created perfect. As we were, so are we now and will forever be. A sleeping mind must waken as it sees its own perfection, mirroring the Lord of life, so perfectly it fades into what is reflected there. And now it is no more a mere reflection. It becomes the thing reflected and the light which makes reflection possible. No vision now is needed, for the awakened mind is one that knows its source, its self, and its holiness. And that is the reality. That is the situation of your life. That you want to become aware that all those different life forms which are around you, either other humans, expressions of those thoughts, plants, animals, nature, different forces which you are seeing. See the light within them. Become aware of the life force within them. And then remember that you are one with this life form, that you cannot be separate from that life, that your mere thinking, your mere breathing is proving that you are part of this life. And the only thing which can change here is that the body, which is within your mind, the body gives up its usefulness, and then the body dies, and you move on, and you kind of return back into the awareness of that one life, that one ocean. I always like the analogy of thinking of each one of those human lives. Human lives is like a droplet of water, and the ocean is the source. The ocean is the God. And then once the droplet returns back into the ocean, it has got for a moment its ideas and all the things which it has lived, but once it returns into the ocean, it becomes part of the ocean. All its ideas return with it into the ocean. The ocean receives all the loving ideas, and the ones which it doesn't want, which it's negative death ideas, it just doesn't take in, and then you all become part of this consciousness. And you cannot isolate that droplet again. Once it's back in with the source, that particular idea of that droplet cannot be separated again. The only thing what you can do is you can relive it. You can kind of observe it, like watch it in a movie. So I hope this has made any sense to you. I've been talking a lot today. So for this particular class, I suggest this seated class, this standing class, or here you have got the whole list. And here you've got the whole list of classes where you can choose from. Have a wonderful day.